Sometimes you just need a quick gift. It might be because you're short of time or the price point, or maybe the recipient or the occasion is just not quilt worthy. Here are 4 fast and easy gifts with picture frames that will take between 5 to 30 minutes to make and which you can personalize to make them special. The best part is you get to use up those large, hard to piece hero prints in your stash. So stick with me and I'll show you how to do it. Hi, I'm Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts. I give you tips, tricks, and strategies to help you make the quilt that you want to make. And if you'd like to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Have you ever needed to produce a gift quickly? Either you've forgotten an occasion or have been surprised by a special event, or maybe the situation is just not quilt worthy, or the recipient has absolutely everything. This is part 3 of my series on fast and easy gifts. Gifts that you can personalize, so they are gifts that people want to receive. And today's episode on framed fabrics is particularly fast and easy. You can complete them in 5 to 30 minutes. We all own gorgeous large-scale prints, which are often called hero prints. They tend to accumulate in our stash because they're hard to piece because of their large scale. For today's project, they are perfect. So dig into your stash and find the ones that match the occasion. Then give them a good press.
If your fabric has deep creases, spritz them with water first, then press.
Next, take a look around your home for a frame to use. These ones are from the dollar store. These ones I got from IKEA, and these ones I purchased from Amazon. I purchased this frame from the dollar store.
And it's the perfect size for my Kathy Doherty magpies that I've had in my stash for 3 years.
It's simple and the wood grain works with my fabric, though if I had time, I could paint it if necessary.
Remove the mat from the frame and set aside. Place the empty frame over your fabric and decide what parts of the fabric you want in the frame and how best to center it. Once you're happy, mark the corners. Put the mat in the center of these marks and then cut your fabric about 1 inch from the side on all 4 sides. I put a small smear of glue on the front of the mat just on 2 sides, and then I place the mat face down on the back of the fabric. This stops the fabric from shifting in the next step. It then goes inside the frame. I pull on the loose edges to make it taut, and once I'm satisfied it's all smooth, I miter the corners and glue down the fabric allowances. Secure the back and you're done. I just love how this turned out, and I liked it so much I made a pair.
This can also work on a large scale as well. These Tim Holtz fabric have the detail and scale that I can turn these into posters. Another easy lift is to use fabrics like photographs, which is perfect for fabrics that have an element to highlight, like these tulip pink raccoons. Remove the mat from the frame and use as a template to see what angle works best.
Then mark the 4 corners of the mat. You want your fabric to be 2 inches taller and 2 inches wider than the inside opening of the mat. So I am measuring in approximately 1/2 inch from the corner marks I made and cutting my fabric. Then I put my fabric on the back of the frame, and when it's centered the way I want it, I glue it down. I reassembled the frame, and it really was that easy.
Maybe you want to jazz up a picture frame. Busy fabrics are a great way to add energy.
First, disassemble the frame and grab the mat. Lay your fabric out, place the mat On top, cut your fabric approximately 1 inch larger than the mat. I'm using archival glue here as to avoid long-term stains on the fabric, and with a foam brush, I'm painting on a thin layer on the mat. Then placing it glue side down on the fabric. Ensure there are no creases. Miter the corners and glue the fabric to the back of the mat. To cut out the center, I cut at approximately 1 inch all round, and then using my sharpest scissors, I cut right into the corners, then fold back the fabric and glue that to the mat. And then I reassemble the frame.
If you prefer something with a little bit of texture, a shadow box may be the option for you.
I like to intentionally frame my fabrics to give me that depth that I'm looking for. And you can layer your fabrics, you can put blocks on point, and you don't even need a background. You can put squares directly on the paper. A shadow box has an extra frame, so when you reassemble the pieces, be sure to put this between the glass and the picture to give space for that extra texture you added.
And truly, you can have a little bit of fun here by combining fabric and some little knickknacks.
I'm using a map as the background for this picture, and I've got a swatch of fabric of a combi van. And I'm going to test out some shells to see which one works best. But because of the weight, I'm going to have to bring out my glue gun to tack down the shell. I quickly put it back together, and this is a nice holiday memory.
When personalizing a gift, look to the recipients for color guidance. Not only what colors they like, but what shades of the color they prefer and the theme. Where possible, ask. You want to give gifts that people want to receive. And don't forget to sign the back. So what do you think? Are you going to give one of these a try? If you have any other ideas for fast and easy gifts, please leave a comment below. And if you want to watch the other videos in this series, I'll leave a link to that playlist in the notes below too. This week on Karen's Quilt Circle, I had Valerie Goodwin. After building a foundation in traditional quilting skills, Valerie combined her love of lines and shape to develop her own style of amazing layered mat quilts. You don't want to miss it, so I'll leave a link to that in the notes as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell beside the subscribe button so that YouTube will notify you when I make new videos. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Just Get It Done Quilts, and sign up for my newsletter on my website at Just Get It Done Quilts. So take care, and I'll see you next time.